Hello and welcome to r/Tales from the Front Desk. Today we've got two stories from some workers at hotels. And the first one is titled, Karen broke me today and I let a stranger intervene. From Snow Queen Knight 511 and says, boy, do I have a story for you guys today. So, lately I've been struggling a bit dealing with entitled, rude, demanding and altogether terrible people that come with summer travel. But today, a lady broke me. And I let a guy who was just trying to check in take the phone from me and deal with the Karen. I had a gem of a human being on the phone tonight who was just angry. No matter what I said, no matter how much I tried to help her, she was not having it with me. She was demanding, and when I couldn't accommodate her demands, she got mad. Like the weird, calm, tear you apart kind of angry. She made me very confused with what she wanted, and she kept changing her mind on things, and eventually, when I couldn't keep up, she started insulting my intelligence and telling me I was terrible at my job. During this amazing interaction, a gentleman comes to check in and has to stand there listening to my rather painful conversation. This guy had to listen to the conversation for like 20 minutes just waiting to check in. He eventually came up to the desk, looked me in the eye and told me to give me the phone and I'll deal with her. Guys, I handed this guy the phone and I let him deal with her as I checked in two other people who were waiting. I didn't hear everything he said to her, but he said he was my manager and put her in her place. Should I have done that? No, I absolutely should not have done that. Do I regret doing that? Nope, not one bit. P.S. Conversation didn't get any better and I decided to send an email to my AGM to let them deal with it. I got the top comment that says, we are to place the guest at the desk as priority and ask if you can place Karen on hold. Even if they say no, hit that hold button and leave her on hold. She'll either hang up or call back a million times, but each time the guest at the desk is priority, so put her on hold and repeat. She can call back and speak to a manager during business hours. I also work for an indie hotel, so if a guest is like that, we cancel and DNR, do not resuscitate, I guess that's a do not return, before they even check in and have the right to refuse service. Although it may not have been the right thing to do, it was absolutely the best thing to do at that moment. I hope you're doing better since that interaction. Our next story is from Other Cantaloupe 4765 and is titled, Old Guy Freaks Out and Yells About the State of His Country and How I'm Trying to Deny Him His Rights when I asked for his ID and his credit card. Joe and his wife came in to stay the night with their two grandkids, a boy and a girl, who looked to be about 12 and 7 respectively. They had a regular reservation, nothing special, no hoops to jump through. I greeted him and asked to see his ID and the credit card he'd like to use. He said, I'm paying cash, so I don't have to give you nothing. You're welcome to pay with cash, but I do still need to see your ID, and I will either need a credit card on file for incidentals or a $150 cash deposit. I'm not paying you $150. There's a card on file. Use that. I'm not able to use the card on file as we don't have any way to tell you're the owner of that card. This government is doing everything it can to punish people just for exercising their right to pay in cash. Oh, word. I didn't realise that my hotel was run by the government. Yes, sir, you're so right. Mr. President Biden wrote our incidentals policy himself. I'm not making as much money as I should, you know, being a federal employee and all. I just patiently waited, my face being blank the whole time. Totally unimpressed. Joe starts getting red in the face and throws his credit card down on the desk. You know what? Fine, use it. Use the damn card. This country's going straight down the drain. This is proof. And then gestures at me. His wife was returning from the restroom when he yelled that last part. He grumbled to her while I was checking them in, and she was exasperated. She said, honey, you should have just given her the credit card. All hotels do this. More grumbling. Poor grandkids are standing behind him the whole time he was ranting. The boy looked embarrassed and the little girl was huddled up scared against her brother's legs and he had his arms around her. I put him next to the second floor elevator. Not sorry. An hour later, the little girl came down to the lobby by herself. She came up to the desk with a $1 bill and said, I'm sorry my papa was mean to you. He said we're not having supper because he's not hungry. He gave me this to buy something I can share with my brother. Can I buy any food with this? So not only did he send this 7-year-old little girl downstairs in a strange place by herself, he also wasn't going to get them dinner just because he wasn't hungry, and he gave this kid $1 to buy food with, which she'd be sharing with her brother. Like, I'm sorry, sir, but a loaf of bread no longer costs 2 shillings. She was embarrassed, like she knew $1 wasn't enough to buy anything, but had to ask anyway. I just said, you know what, honey, you go and grab a few things for you and your brother to eat, and I'll pay for it. She was very polite, grabbed a few things, said thank you, and went upstairs. Poor kids. I wonder if Mum and Dad are aware of what goes on when Grandpa's watching the kids. Perhaps Grandpa should be shaking his fist at the clouds when he's in a nursing home, and not while he's entrusted with the safety of young children. Well, that is a bit of a sad ending. He's probably not getting them dinner because he's still grumpy and stropping about what happened at the front desk. Like, you were also offered a way to pay by cash, just you have to put down a big cash deposit. It's sad how quickly he turned from just an annoying asshole customer to like a terrible grandpa. Oh, just feel for those kids. At least there was a nice person like OP here to do a little favour for them and make sure they had something to eat. Or imagine this, deduct it from the credit card holder until he finally received for incidentals. That's actually a great idea. You got the card on file, child came down asking for food. But then the child will get in trouble for that. Don't want to do that. Thank you for being a kind and caring person in the face of adversity. He might complain that you are what is wrong with this country, but you showed what is right with humanity, people feeling compassion and trying to help. And yeah, I think he proves that he's the one that's wrong with this country. Loud, brash, angry, always complaining and arguing, and then not even treating your own right. He's what's wrong with the country. It's normally projection, the people that are first to shout things like that as loud as possible. He sent a 7-year-old to the desk with $1 to buy food for 2. He knew exactly what he was doing. He put you into a lose-lose situation. Turn the kid away and you confirm this is proof in his mind that you are the problem. You buy kids a meal out of your own pocket, you feel better, but you're still lost in his mindset. You could have gone for the nuclear option, call 911, say I have an accompanied minor in my lobby begging for food, and you would have been technically correct, but your karma would take a huge hit. I would have done what you did. If doing the right thing, being out $10, so be it. Maybe you'll be remembered as that nice person at the desk who bought his food. I hope he responds saying, yeah, it occurred to me that he might have done that purposefully. It was a bad situation, but I wasn't going to engage in a power struggle at the little girl's expense. She didn't deserve to be treated like a pawn in some messed up game. If I could get with Joe face to face, that's great, but I'm not putting a child in the middle of something like that. I've been in that situation before as a child and I know how it feels. Well, I am going to leave it there. Thank you ever so much for watching. Don't forget to put a comment down below. What do you think of these stories? What would you do in their positions? And don't forget to like and subscribe because I do put out new Reddit videos every single day. And I will see you again next time.